And hey, what is up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here. Hopefully, I didn't get caught with that stupid live stream starting face that we all do when we're like, wait, are we? And then, hey, I can't stand it when that happens, especially when it happens to me, and it happens often. But I hope everybody's doing well. Had a little bit of allergy thing going on, so yeah, my eyes look a little glossy. But yeah, today I woke up with a magnificent headache, which was a lot of fun, but I'm feeling much better right now. And I am focusing my attention away from the headache, but towards action figures, specifically Marvel Legends action figures. And I have a special guest with me today to help me out with that. And I wanted to introduce and bring onto the channel as a guest somebody that I haven't had a chance to talk to publicly, I think, since 2020 or 2021, I think. I don't know. It's been a little bit. I'm losing track of time. It's going by so fast. But yeah, if you're all queued up and ready to go, we got some people in the house over here. We got Vivi is the chosen one, Rick Jones, pow pow, and we got the gamer. Hey, ShartimusPrime, you're my favorite YouTuber. You're amazing. One of your favorite Spider-Man. Your reaction when I saw Taskmaster was a girl that, yeah, that's definitely a conversation right there. All right, let's bring in Dan. Who pow there.
Pow, how we doing? How we doing?
Thank you so much for making it to the show. I know it's a little bit late over there right now, so yeah, it's not always the most convenient.
I'm going to get in trouble for waking the missus up, so I'm going to have to do a quiet pow, like a muted pow.
Okay, good.
AMSMR Dan Who, that's what we're doing. But I've got my tea. I'm ready to go. We're all good. Thank you for having me, by the way. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, man. It's been a crazy time lately, especially the last couple of years. And I feel like last year was especially pretty nuts, you know?
Oh,
and,
yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's a personal mission of mine to want to do a little bit more to try to unify our community a little bit more. You know, I want to like take an active approach at kind of like getting everybody to remind us all that we're all fellow collectors for a reason.
Absolutely.
Like we're all here to have a good time. Like that's what it should be about. But at the same time, you know, when we think there's flaws with the hobby and there's things that aren't going on the way we think they could be done, you know, it's good to talk about those things, and I don't think anybody out there avoids it. You know,
I think the community and the aspect you can share your passions and hobbies with other people just make the hobby more fun. Like, I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want to like involve the community and the hobby together. Like, it genuinely makes it more fun for me when I get excited about a new product or new figure and I want to share it. Like, I want to tell someone. My missus doesn't care, my dog doesn't care, but I can usually find someone on Instagram or YouTube that cares and shares that same hype as me. So yeah, absolutely, completely agree with that sentiment. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have some super chats over here, so we're gonna Dan and I are gonna take the super chat money and split it in half, or deduct the YouTube cut, because I think that's
right. Oh, mate, it's all yours. This is your channel. You're the godfather of this. It's all yours.
No, it don't work that way. I insist.
You're a good man.
Any chance you can ask them, and thank you, Dr. Beppis, any chance you can ask them if we'll be getting a movie Carnage? Much love. I mean, I think that's something that's definitely on a lot of collectors' minds, to the point where I'm sure Hasbro is aware that a movie Carnage is going to be something that we're going to want to see. I'd love to see a Marvel Legends movie Carnage, even though that's not my favorite version of it. But, you know, and just out of spite, I'm drinking coffee, not tea.
Look, I'm fine. I like any hot beverage.
To bring back, just to open old wounds over here, I wanted to make sure that I was drinking.
Look, I'm a fan of both hot beverages. I ain't got to pick a side with that. I'm fine with coffee or tea. Do you have milk and sugar?
Yeah, I use creamer in mine. You know, funny enough, though, when I drink tea, I don't like to put anything in my tea. If anything, I just put a little bit of honey, no matter what tea it is, too.
Interesting.
Yeah, just like maybe a little bit of honey. But yeah, I'll, you know, I'm trying to...
Milk and 2 sugars. That's the British way. Milk and 2 sugars.
Milk and 2 sugars. Wow, that's a lot. I like the taste of the tea, so it's, I don't know, it's more of it's more of a treat to have tea for
Okay.
me because coffee's on a daily basis, you know.
It's the
So
same. It's the same. You got to get up. You got get up and drink coffee. I'm the same. I get up and I can't function or do anything until I've had a cup of tea. Like, and it's usually the
oh
last thing I drink at night as well. It's probably not good to drink at night, but I can't help it. I like to unwind with a cup of tea. Do you know, like on the way to
yeah.
bed, put the kettle on, chilling.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's a good
sometimes.
tea is nice. Tea is
It
nice.
is.
I like
It
it.
is.
Ray Farr, thank you so much. Hey, Shart, man, these Hasbro prices lately. Dan Who too? We're in for a show tonight, folks. Yes,
Wow.
that is something that I wanted to know. I mean, I think you have a video talking about the Spider-Man figure that they just released. If I missed it, forgive me.
No, I just did a live stream talking about this week's reveals. Usually I will jump up and do a video, but I've
Gotcha.
had one of those busy weeks. So I thought I'd just save it for the live stream. So yeah, just spoke about it on the live stream.
Oh, okay. And tell everybody when your live stream is if they don't already know already. It's every Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday at 8 p.m. UK time, which I think works out at 3 p.m. Eastern and maybe noon Pacific, I
Right.
think.
That's right. Yeah. Noon Pacific. That's yeah.
Yeah, so
Usually
yeah,
pops
'cause
in noon.
it's evening for me, but it's like early afternoon for you. So it's like, I'm as I said, I'm winding down, drinking Koppelberg, and usually my friends in the US are like still on their lunch breaks at work or something. So yeah, it's an awkward time, but as I said, lots of compromise with the misses, like with that one for sure. But yeah, Thursdays, every Thursdays, and then every other Sunday I do Legends and Liquor, and yeah, been doing it for a while, literally since 2020, like you said, really.
Right, but I think your channel recently hit a milestone, right? Didn't you just
Yeah, I
recently
just
hit 5
hit
years
20.
too?
Yeah, hit 5 years and 20K, which is great. Which is absolutely great.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I inspire to hit the ShartimusPrime numbers, but as I said, you're one of a kind, my friend. You're one of a kind.
We'll see. We'll see. Times are changing. So there's always more and more talent coming through on the YouTube space, which is great. And we have Thirsty for Chicken in the house. How's it going, Thirsty? How's it going? So I wanted to ask you. I mean, I'm looking forward to, like, I love that Hasbro's incorporated articulated toes. Like, let's talk about the PS4 Spider-Man again.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's fine.
I just got done talking about this, man. But this way you can give me like maybe a little bit more of a summarized version, so you don't have to dive. Maybe you know what I mean. If you wish,
Okay.
your discretion.
Okay.
But,
the summarized version it's too expensive for what it is, but I do think, like, I don't want this to seem like I've always got a weird way of justifying things, but like this is genuinely just how my brain works for the collecting sort of community, right? So like when it comes to PS4 Spider-Man specifically, like if you want that character right now and you missed out on the original one, how much is that other one on the aftermarket right now? It's like 50 to 60 bucks maybe. So like this new one is actually better than that previous one, and it's cheaper than going to the aftermarket. So like, even though it's annoying and it shouldn't be at that price point, if you want that PS4 Spider-Man, I'd still say go and get it. Do you know, like, if you obviously you got to be willing to pay the price, but for me, it's all about world building. And if you want that character in that costume, getting it at retail is the best way, because Spider-Man always go up on the aftermarket. So like, if you're mad about paying 35 for it now, wait until it's came out, sold out, and then you'll be paying double that on the aftermarket later, and then you'll be even more frustrated that you missed out. So like, I'd always recommend, look, if there's something you really, really want and you're passionate about it, try to blur out what everyone else is saying. What do you want to do? It's your money you're spending. Do you want it? Do you want to add it to your collection? Is it worth £35 to you? If it is, go for it. But yeah, it's definitely hurting though as the prices go up, but we're not seeing that represented in what we're getting either. Do you know, we need the product and the price to sort of go up together. If inevitably, of course, I don't want prices to go up like everybody. I want prices to like be reasonable and be fair. But if the prices are going to go up, I do want to see the quality and standard and what we get go up as well with it. But it seems like one's going up and the other one's like going lower, if anything, you know. So it's frustrating for sure. But I like the figure. I want the figure, but it's like we're paying the Spidey tax at the minute, and I don't get why.
The Spidey tax. Yeah, sorry for taking a minute to see this one. Goji King 54 crossover episode. Shartimus who? Dan Prime?
I like it. I like
well
it.
done. yeah, for me, I'm thinking like, why couldn't it just include all this? Like, if you're gonna get into this more premium price point, you're right. You
Yep.
want to talk about the big boy dollar bucks here, all right? Because now we're inching closer and closer to imports. It's getting, somebody left a comment saying like, holy crap, like after you include shipping and taxes, you're paying an import price for the figure. And I think they can do it. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying, you're not the only one. A lot of people have been saying that the quality has been going down on the figures. From my perspective, I actually personally feel the opposite. I think that the photoreal tech thing that they've been doing with the faces is a big upgrade. The pinless joints, the more double joints on the females, adding the toe joints.
Do you know what? Maybe I should rephrase everything. Maybe the quality is the wrong word I'm looking for then, because I agree. For the record, I'm one that's always I'm a big fan of all the things you just talked about, and I agree. So maybe the word quality is I'm using the wrong word. I don't know. Maybe you can. No, just so like,
because you've had some shit QC situations.
Really bad. Like, really. Like, people think I'm just happy all the time, but like clearly there are people that don't watch everything, which is fair. But like, I've had some shit, and when I have some shit, I make sure I go off on it.
Yes.
But yeah, I had some really, like, some of my first plastic-free packaging experiences was shit, like really bad, and it just I'm missing paint apps and just really bad. So like, that hurts when you're willing to pay the premium price and you're not getting the things. I mean, like, but I agree with what you just said about quality. I also think we're getting the best legends we've ever got right now. Like, we really are.
Was he saying value? Is that what?
Yeah, maybe value is the right word. Yeah, maybe I should be using the word value instead. Like, because I like that Spider-Man figure. That's the best for me personally. I know people were saying that, or the 60th anniversary one, but for me, that Renew Your Vow Spider-Man is personally my favorite current modern day Spider-Man body available to us. So like, that PS4 Spider-Man is on the best body in my opinion. But yeah, maybe value is the right word, where we're not even getting one Warcord in hand and one Swip in hand. Like, come on, like, how much do those extra hands cost? Like, for me, it's just those little tidbits, I guess.
That little bit right there just like really makes me upset about it. Makes me mad at myself for pre-ordering it, which is not a good feeling. Really quickly, Ray says, I'm disappointed about it's got to be in my voice too. That's how Ray talks, of course. I'm disappointed about PS4 Spider-Man because after PS4 Miles, I was hoping for a uniquely sculpted figure. Marvel Select PS4 Spidey beats it every way, in my opinion. Disappointed about the PS4 Spidey because after PS4 Miles, I was uniquely sculpted figure with a Spider-Man, though. That's the move that I wish they would take that they just won't, because I don't think
Miles, we just got in a Build-A-Figure wave. He had a Build-A-Figure piece, like all the sets of hands. Did he have an interchangeable head as well? I think he did. I can't remember. But he had a packed box.
Yes, he did have. I think he came with a Miles head too, if I remember right.
Did he have effects as well? Like, I just remember that Miles box compact, and that was a like standard Build-A-Figure sort of price. So that's $10 or £10 less than this Spider-Man, and we didn't even get 3 sets of hands. We got 1 set of fisted hands and then 1 of each of the others. Like, it's just those little things that are just frustrating. Like,
sound disappeared all of a sudden. The Hasbro gods have
they heard me.
They've muted him.
Back. I'm back.
Him.
Oh, no. Shit, I thought it was late. I thought I'd get away with it. But yeah, going back to my point, I think it's those little details that make me think that we're not getting the value these days, rather than qualities. Yes, back to your point. I like the quality of the legends, but it's the value that's not there for me.
That's a tricky one, because it's like, what's the difference now between the value and quality, right? Because it's kind of like there's value in the good quality. So it's like,
well, you take the price away. Maybe
I feel like I'm splitting hairs a little bit, but but I'm kind of thinking like, well, if the quality is there, that adds to the value. So I feel like I'm kind of like, which
is fair. But then going back to what we just mentioned about Miles, quality and values are there at the same time. So why can't it be both there on the Spidey? Do you know what I mean? Right. Like, it's obviously we're never going to get the answer to these questions, because we're always curious about, like, everyone talks about costs and budgets and stuff. Like, none of us know, and none of us are ever going to know. It's simple as that. but I would like to know. And I think if we understood more, the community would be a little bit more accepting. Like,
no.
no?
Anger and the rage.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
That
sorry,
gets
my
the
bad.
clicks. Got to
Of
do the
course.
rage.
Of course,
Not
yeah.
like trying to understand and sit there and do math and try to figure out equations that make it all like, okay, well, shipping rate, freight costs and everything, and then you gotta go right. Like you can't. No. It's gotta be mad. No, but it's. I am 100% with you that the more we actually know, the more truth we get about this stuff, the more of an understanding we can actually kind of wrap our heads around. That's why I kind of like to listen to, like, I try to zero in on what the competitive companies are saying that are consistent, like there's no reason, like, unless they're all just in cahoots and agreeing to tell the same lie.
I'm sure they all follow their own rule book as well. Like it's really hard to compare Hasbro to anything, maybe Mattel as well. Like they're the two big juggernauts, ain't they, of the toy industry? So I guess they play by a different rule book to the rest. Maybe answers we're never going to know the questions we're never going to know the answers to. And people expect you and me, like, not just you and me, but people that get into a position to ask questions to the Hasbro team, they expect us to ask the questions that you and me know they can't answer. So it's like, okay, do we waste our time here and ask them questions we know they can't answer? Or do we just try and focus on the fun element of the hobby and try and get a few little fun nuggets and tidbits about what we do enjoy? Do you know what I mean? Like, I always get like told to ask them about this, ask them about cost, ask them about, and I'm like, they can't answer those questions. It's a waste of everybody's time. Of course, I would like to know the answers too.
Yeah,
but it's just they're not gonna. It's like that's the boardroom. We're the consumer. Like we just, it's an awkward one.
I think I've always had a hard time doing interviews because I know when they're not going to answer a lot of the questions that people want me to ask. And I get frustrated because if I don't ask them, my viewers feel like I'm trying to dodge them or I'm not representing them properly. And then when I do ask them, I feel like it's a waste of breath and it's a waste of time. It's like, okay, well then what am I even doing? I know you're going to say, oh, cool idea, something we consider in the future, but we're not going to make an announcement right now. It's like I could hear that, like, as I'm asking the question, I could hear that come my way, which I think is one of the things that that's one thing people don't consider is kind of hard about doing interviews with these types of companies where they don't just say whatever they want to say.
Of course,
that it's hard to kind of come up with the right way to ask these things. But
people don't realize as well that our interviews, there's always a PR guy in the background listening in. Do you know what I mean? At any point can jump in and stop us. So like, it's not like just a free flowing conversation like we're having now. This is unfiltered. Those are very formal, professionally done. And if we said something that they didn't want to get out, they'd cut it. They'd stop it anyway. So it's like, it's best. It is awkward. I completely agree. But
again, why I commend Bognai's 10's ability to. I think he does that. I mean,
absolutely.
Against you, but I think
of course.
I think he does it better than anybody right now. I think he's got his handle on the Hasbro interviews, like specifically knowing how to like stick to the script and not. It's tough, but I
try and focus on the fun factor. I understand that these guys ain't just doing one interview in a day; they're doing like 8 or whatever it is. So I don't want to just be asking them the same old questions that everyone else has asked. So I try and turn my interviews more into a conversational format and just try and keep it rolling rather than going question 1, answer, question 2, answer. I just try and make sure they're smiling, having a good time. Again, I always feel like when you're having that free flow conversation, you get like these little nuggets because you're catching them off guard a little bit and they're not being as like stern. But absolutely, we can almost debug nice. Like, as I said, he'd ask questions I wouldn't even attempt to because it's just I've not created that atmosphere, that environment where I think Bug has got it nailed in. But I think that his recent one at where he was at New York, he was literally on the floor, wasn't he, at New York?
HasLab, right?
Yeah, and he was just asking the questions that we want answered, and like we expected, they didn't actually give us the answers. They tiptoed around them, but he got nuggets. He got a few little nuggets, which we appreciate.
Yeah, that was dope. Let's read. We got a super chat from Ray over here. I feel like I'm always bashing Hasbro now, but it's because I care about the line.
Of course.
And it hurts to not feel like the value is there. We can be better. Yeah, I really would love to see cobweb lines sculpted in the Spider-Mans. Like in the classic Spider-Man suit. I mean, even without actually changing, like that's one thing that does kind of confuse me. I get that they want to reuse the body mold over and over again. That I totally understand. All the companies do it, but it would be nice if they had one that had sculpted web patterns. Like that Shocker figure was an all new sculpt.
Yeah.
Like that's a like, are they ever going to re-release that again? Like if they just gave us at least one superposable, fully articulated Spider-Man with the cobweb pattern in there, and I know it would only be able to be used for only Spider-Man figures in the future. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that, but there's still a lot of potential out there with adding different head sculpts and different paint apps to them.
You think for the A-listers
go a long way.
they'd have that mentality as well? Do you know, for the Spider-Mans, the Wolverines, the Caps, the Iron Mans, like you'd think they'd be more willing to go all in on those characters, rather than just the reuse. Like, just think, Cyclops, the leader of the X-Men, essentially was on Bucky Cap forever until this recent VHS line, and I'd think a character like him is worthy of more than a bloody Bucky Cap. So it is weird, but again, it goes back to, I wish we knew why certain decisions were made. We were talking earlier about the Fantastic Four 2-pack that went up for pre-order this week, where you've got
I wanted.
Yeah, so you got Franklin and Valeria, right? So Franklin.
Wait, what was that name again?
Franklin.
And then the other one?
Valeria.
What?
Valeria. Is that not how you say her name?
No, it's Valeria.
I thought it was Valeria. No one's ever corrected me before.
No, it's Valeria, you dumbass. It's...
Well, I'm not going to change how I say it anyway now. Yes,
I made a video talking about it. I'm the only moron on earth who ever called it Valeria.
Oh, wait, so you're wrong. No, you're making me all paranoid now. Wait.
No, I'm the idiot.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm the moron. Yeah.
You're going to be paranoid thinking, shit, have I got it wrong all this time? No one's corrected me.
I had so many comments about my mispronunciation.
Fucking hell.
And just hearing you just casually say it like a regular person, not like an idiot. And,
well, just think it's comments, isn't it? So unless it's red, it's like I watched Bug's video this week on Chode, right? But he doesn't call him Chode, he calls him Chod. And I'm scratching my head going, he's Chode. Like he said, the word Chode is said in the X-Men animated series. And that's the only time we've heard his name said. So I've got to take that as that's canon. His name's Chode. But Bug's like, nope, it's Chod, and I'm sticking to it. But I'm like, okay, fair enough. Right?
Yeah, that's my defense, is that I've never met a Valeria in my life. The only Valeria I know is from reading it on paper, and my dumbass went Valeria like it was a disease or something.
Comic characters are like that though. Like you read them, and then that's in your head forever the way you read it.
Yeah, it's just stuck like that. But anyway, not to interrupt your point though. You wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So I was just going back to the body molds, and I wish we had more information on why decisions were made. Like, so Franklin's got the brand new 60th anniversary body, right? Really articulated, really nice body. Arguably, some people like that more than the Renew Your Vows body, right? But Franklin, you could argue, doesn't technically need that much articulation and range, right? And then Valeria, she's got like an old, outdated body, like that with the single jointed elbows, which again is frustrating in 2023. But if I knew that Hasbro made that decision because they could only use the better body a certain amount of times, and they've got these 3 A-list female characters that we would all prefer that body to be used on, and that was why they made that decision, then I could bite the bullet a little bit more and go, okay, I get why you made that sacrifice, and she's on that old body, so we get it on these new ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we had more information, again, I think the community would be a little bit more understanding. Obviously, doesn't mean you can be happy or not. That's up to you, but understanding at least. But again, we're never going to know. So it's just frustration. It just causes that frustration. And like back to someone in the chat was saying, because we genuinely love this and we're passionate about it, it just dials up our emotions. That's all it is. And that's all it is. It's just, we just love it so much. If we genuinely didn't love it as much, we wouldn't care and we wouldn't get all of this bubbling online. But it's because we all care so much. Everyone wants to make sure their opinion is heard, and it's annoying that we're trying to get our voices heard and nothing's changing. And I think that's what's bugging everyone, because everyone was loud and clear last year, and it's like same old, and it's like we're going around in circles again. But it takes time. Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah, I think I think the biggest complaint right now from everybody is definitely the prices for everything. It's just really it's just really high. Like, see, you know what I mean? And I think it it does make people's expectations go up a little bit more when you're asking for a little bit more money. But at the same time, it's kind of, and this is not an excuse for Hasbro. I'm just talking facts, all right, viewers out there, that it's. I heard a comedian say this, where isn't it funny, since COVID, everything has cost more but has gotten more shitty. Like when you go out
Yeah.
and you go to a restaurant and you get food, it costs more, and then the portions are less, or the services work worse because there's less people working there and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
noticed it in some. I'm not saying it's totally like that, but it kind of has that same flavor where it's like, wow, it is costing more. So due to the higher costs, it's like not quite meeting those expectations. So it feels like you're paying more and getting less. And that's how, and that's where I think if we're paying just a little bit less, that would be, that would be nice. But it's like it's going to be one of those things where I think it's going to bust on its own. Like, we speak with our wallets, and eventually that message is going to get heard, and we're going to see changes coming. Like, I think it's only a matter of time until people start. Now, are people actually spending less on figures? Like, is that happening? Like, that's another thing that I don't really know. Like, are was there less money spent on Marvel Legends overall in 2022 compared to 2021? How do we know if, like, the voices
just
are really
just think the inflation's real, the cost of living's real. Like, everything else, not just toys, everything else on the planet is going up in price. So I think just for us collectors, it means we have to be a little bit more sensible with our toy budget, and we have to maybe buy less. And it's frustrating that we have a smaller budget, but so we're paying that extra money to get the figures we want, but they're not, again, back to that value point where they're not where we think they should be. But like you said, again, back to change. Like, we want change, but it takes time. Like, they work a year in advance, don't they? Usually. So everything we're seeing this year, they'd be planned out a year ago. Like, it's already 2023 is already lined up for them. So, like, as long as we are honest, and again, I think the Hasbro team, they listen. They're one of the teams that do listen.
Excuse me.
And I think if we're consistent and fair with our criticisms, they will listen and take it on board and do what they can. But it's going to take time.
Yeah. It's just going to take time until that change actually happens. I think I missed a super chat over here from Thirsty. It says, that's what the new PS Spidey is missing. Miles had detailed texture and web patterns. I hypothetically asked one time either on here or Dan's channel if we will get a Peter as good as that Miles. Yeah, they should do it. It would have been nice if they did make that extra step. And
maybe we still will. Just think the game's still got to come out, and Venom's in that game. Maybe there's a new symbiote Spidey suit. And that's where you get the textured Spider-Man. Do you know, like, maybe we'll.
That'd be nice. You guys think it's fair to compare Legends to other lines? As a consumer, when I see PS4 Spidey cost $5 more than select Better Ray Bill or Hulk, see, I think it is fair because I think they do it too. I think they compare themselves to other companies and they have an idea of, like, what is, what's of value on the market and everything, right? I'm sure they do that. I would be surprised if they didn't. Any business, I'm getting myself, shameless self plug or whatever, but I'm trying to work on my own toy line. I'm trying to get that started, and as I've, like they say, like, your prices are set by your competitors. You don't set your own. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they say that's like a business rule, is like the pricing is set by competitors, right?
I also think the general consumer, though, they don't know as much as, like, us idiots do. Like, we like to find out all the details and stuff, but the general consumer will just see, okay, here's one company that makes toys, there's another company that makes toys, and they're just naturally going to compare the two without overthinking it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But to your point, I mean, that's where I'm saying, like, or to Ray's point anyway, what I'm trying to get at, bringing back the whole conversation or the topic again, is like, is Hasbro going to feel the hurt
Hmm.
with people saying no to that Spider-Man and saying yes to a Marvel Select Better Ray Bill or a Red Hulk? You know what I mean? That's where it's like, I mean, we're talking about at least $5 more than one of those big badass figures. I mean, it's tough to justify that unless you're just a huge fan of that particular Spider-Man figure. You know, now for me, I'm a fan of both. I do want both, but I hate myself for pre-ordering that figure a little bit. Like I'm mad at myself for doing it.
Rush, you're not the only one. Like on Hasbro Pulse UK, I don't know if this is the same on US, but it's sold out. So like people are saying, "Oh, we need to speak with our wallets," but it's sold out. Do you know, like, so what message is being sent there? We want it. We want to pay, and we're willing to pay for it. And again, this is just a question. I don't know the answer. This is just a question. Like, do we have to pay the PS4? Is there an extra license? Because obviously we know Marvel, big license, but because it's the PS4 Spider-Man, is there a PS4 or PS5 license attached on top? And that's why we're paying that little bit extra. There's like licenses involved. Again, just a question. I don't know.
Yeah, is that, and does that add to the value? Probably not. I mean, does it? Because you wouldn't have it without the name, right? Am I still echoing? I don't think. I don't know, Dan. You said something.
You're good. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, if anybody else hears an echo, let me know in the chat. But yeah, the value's got to come into play. And then what is the, oh god, and then the price for the 2-pack, the Valeria and the
50 in the UK, £50 in the UK.
Oh god, dang. Now I have to actually renew my Hasbro Pulse, so I didn't get to see whether or not it's sold out here. It may very well be sold out, but that is the tough thing. If we're gonna speak with our wallets, if we are speaking with our wallet, it's actually still available for pre-order in the US. Okay. So yeah, but I mean, for at least customers in the UK, you could fairly say that the wallets of the customers of the UK approve of that price point.
At least on Pulse. And again, we don't know.
Oh, your guys' fault.
We don't know if they have a quantity limit. Do like some people question that, like, do Pulse set a limit where they say it's sold out just to create that demand? Like, again, this is just people going crazy and making their own theories, but maybe we don't know. Again, answers to questions we just won't know. But the one thing I didn't like about the Valeria pack, like, is they in the branding, in the press release, they're like 15 accessories.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's like 1 smoke piece, 2 smoke piece, 1 blast effect, 2 blast effect, and they're like, totally, like, what? And I'm like, come on, they're taking liberties there. Like, I think that's like sort of, that's a bit unfair there. That's
I look, from my point of view, look, if you're not photoshopping and there's literally that number of accessories, that's fine with me. I can't stand the photoshopping. Like, photoshopping pins away and then seeing the pins on the actual product is total BS to me. But yeah, I thought that too right away. I'm like, okay, dude, 15, like, okay, I get it.
I knew it. What's sad is I knew exactly what it would be though. Like when I seen 15 accessories without even looking at the pack, just from the promo images, I was like, okay, that's the beaker, that's the 2 little blast effect. I knew what it would be. And it was just a shame. Like, I would have loved to have been surprised. Like, we were talking, it would have been great to get a blonde head for Franklin. That would not have pleased, because that would have been a little bit more of an incentive for people that wanted a different version. Like, but yeah, just again, it's just a little bit cheeky, I think, because
it's
they're counting both left and right hand as 1 accessory.
No
each.
way.
That's what I'm saying. You'd count a pair of hands as 1 accessory, right? That's what I would think. But whatever.
Oh, you think it should count as 1? But
it's a pair.
Nice if they thought of it.
That's for me. That's just me. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't care that much. I genuinely, like, when I say these things, I am just like,
that's how you feel. That's how like you feel about it. It doesn't matter, but like, you're just having a set of hands counts as 1 accessory. I get it, because it's 1 function.
I guess so.
1 function, like having 2 fists, right? Now you have the guy with the dukes up. That's like 1 thing you could do with them.
If it was a power effect hand that did something different, then fair enough. But if it's just a set of fisted hands, then saying it's 2 accessories is a little bit. Come on now.
Fair enough. I got to read this question right here. I have a question. I watched your Spider-Man collection video 2022. Who is the guy next to War Machine when you showed the Avengers? Or can anyone else answer me? Oh, shoot, man. I didn't have War Machine is not in my Spider-Man collection. Oh man.
Is it in the room you're in now? Can you not
Yeah,
look
he's up
around?
there. Next who is he next to? Damn, okay. Oh, that's a Human Torch. It's a classic Human Torch. Android Human Torch. That's what it is. So I took the Marvel Select head and I put it on that classic the vintage collection body over there. Yeah, so I mean, off to the it's kind of funny how 2023 is kind of starting, with them with it not really being like
Yeah, it's a
it's
slow.
not
It's a
a
slow.
great start. I was kind of
Yeah.
hoping to see them bounce back, especially because the HasLab. I think you backed it, right? Did you stay
Yeah, I
back?
wanted it. I'm a Legends fan. I'm a Legends fan. Would I've liked the value to be better? Yes, absolutely. But in my head, I'm thinking everything's going to get unlocked. So I genuinely, when I back it, I'm taking, I'm just taking for granted that everything's going to get unlocked where I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I wanted it, and again, I backed it, but that was my choice, my decision. I wasn't campaigning anyone to or not back it. I was just telling people what I was doing. But because people didn't like what I was doing, there was because they feel like you're not part. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem type thing. But I don't think being an old man raising your fist, shouting at clouds gets anything done. I just think there's better ways to get a message across than just shouting and being angry.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I felt definite. I think one of the more frustrating parts about it for me, and I think the main reason why I really didn't want to back it, like the thing that really pushed me over, was really realizing that it wasn't anywhere near like my top 5 potential HasLab wants.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anywhere near the top 5, and for that, it kind of made me feel like the whole release was disingenuous in one way or another. It felt disingenuous to me. I felt like it wasn't like a passion project like freaking Galactus over there. Like that's I really felt like there was, and not that. Yeah, oh man, I gotta make me. I'm not good.
You make it all fall. It'll fall on your head or something.
Yeah, I just did an unboxing video in here. I kind of gave myself a little mess, but I mean, not that like in the production of it, well, even the paint apps, they didn't. I don't. We've all heard complaints about it. I don't want to.
It's so last year, Shartimus. It's so last year.
Dead. It's dead. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse.
Don't stress about it. It's done. Don't stress about it.
It's all done. It's a goner. But I just really wish that it felt like it had like some real heart to it, and I felt like that was like the key thing that probably missed it with the fans, is that it was just a choice that wasn't anywhere near anyone's like nobody was talking about a freaking Robbie Reyes Engine of Vengeance back when Galactus like wrapped up. That's what everybody does is when the HasLab wraps, what's the next one?
Yeah.
Nobody was talking about Robbie Reyes, and that's what just drove me nuts.
It's the 50th. It was the 50th anniversary of Ghost Rider, and also they wanted to try a vehicle. So I think that was what was probably what made it. They made that decision. They were like, they want to try a vehicle. It's the 50th anniversary of Ghost Rider. Let's go for it. And they, again, because they had 2 really successful HasLab campaigns, maybe they took the community for granted and just thought, well, it's gonna get backed anyway. And it just, again, I do think next time, if they go again next time, they're going to definitely cater more to what people are actually wanting rather than taking a chance. I think they took the chance. They went, okay, you want a vehicle? So go, and they're like, okay, maybe we should stick to some, for HasLabs at that price point, let's stick to some really A-tier characters. But I've always said it. I know some people don't like the HasLab concept, but I've always said I would love them to do more like, I don't know, maybe just use pulse and do smaller quantities of like, did Robbie Reyes' car really need to be a HasLab? Do you know what I mean? Could it have not been a cheaper price? Yeah, pre-order, exactly. Like and cap it. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm like you, where the character was probably the wrong choice, but yeah, be curious where they go next. I am just curious where they go next, because they're not gonna. They've got too much pride to just not do it again. They'll be back this year with something else, and I think they're gonna make sure it's a success.
Shart knows I'm a Todd shill, but I think he has really catered to Legends collectors. His cheap Batmo Beast announcement when Hell Charger was revealed, which they didn't even really have to do because it was just the same Batmo Beast, but with less stuff. Oh, they switched the chassis for the figure, right? So, but yeah, I thought that I thought that was a little bit. I don't know if they're doing that to troll. See, from our perspective, it's easy to assume that that was a troll move.
Yeah, who knows?
We don't know that.
Who
We
knows?
really don't know whether it was just a coincidence or not. Because yeah, while the optics seem like there's some pretty dots to be, obvious dots to be connected right there, I don't know if they did that on purpose. California Red Devil says people say backlash won't change anything, but don't you think Hasbro trying to walk back the D&D OGL changes due to fan response is proof you can? So I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm assuming based off what he's saying right here is that some of the Dungeons and Dragons figures initially had some poor design choices that were later altered due to people showing their frustration with that. That's what it sounds like to me. But they do make changes. That is true. They definitely do make changes when we cry and moan and want things done a better way. But I think it only goes. I think the point Dan was making, and not to just speak for you, but it could go so far to where it's just like you're kind of just yelling to the wind, where as opposed to like getting a real clear message out to them. Like there's just raw anger, or you could like send a direct message, and not a direct message personally, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's just my perspective. Again, I'm not speaking for anybody out here. I'm just speaking for me personally, right? And this is how
I'm trying to speak for you.
No. But people sometimes put words in my mouth and blah blah blah. But like I'm not speaking for anybody here. I'm just speaking like this is just my this is how I just see things. If you really want to incite change, like building relationships to a stage where you're going to be listened to and being respectful, like is like you're going to be put yourself into a more valued position to be listened to when you've got respect there. But if you're just shouting and hating and blah blah blah, then you're just going to get like you're not going to get listened to, because they're just going to assume it's just nonsense. Where I just think building relationships is a better place to be heard. Like being respectful and whatever. Like again, criticism absolutely fair, but there's ways you go about it. There's ways to do it. Like I think what we're saying today, like we're being critical of the recent releases, but we're being fair. Like we're giving reasons why to all of our opinions, and again, they're just our opinions. But there are other people that, like you said, are just clickbait. Like this is shit. This is shit. This is shit. This is shit. What? Okay, calm down. How's that helping the situation?
So we can make our complaints while being respectful at the same time. I think that's like really the key to it, so that your voice could be properly heard. It's like if people are just hanging out at a bus stop and some guy just charges in, just yelling all kinds of nonsense, versus somebody coming in and like properly articulating themselves, you're going to be able to hear that person who's going to be able to kind of be a little bit more constructive with the way they criticize, as opposed to just being brash and loud without having as much of a direct
This is a weird analogy, right? But go with me, right? So when you're on the phone and you're phoning up a company, you need something done. I don't know. You're trying to pay a bill. I don't know, whatever it is. But the person on the end of the phone is being a bit slow, or they're getting the information wrong, right? You can be one of two people, right? You can either be patient, polite, wait, be nice, because you need to be nice to that person because you need them to help you with a problem, right? Or you can be the other end of the spectrum and be like, you're terrible, I want to speak to your manager, I don't like you, blah blah blah. And then the person on the other end of the phone doesn't really like you now, is less likely to do more to help you. And do you know what I mean? Like there's that sort of, it just depends on an individual's outlook, I guess, where some people, I don't know, think that's the way they get change. Right, let's just scream and shout about it. And it's like, does that really get
Laserpan says we need to bully Hasbro.
See what? Look, he's teasing. He knows he's clever, but you know what I mean. You're like, you can. I just think there's ways to be heard. There's ways to be heard. That's all. And I just,
You get more what was it? You get more lemons with lemonade or whatever the hell they say.
Yeah, whatever they say, whatever.
You get more, you get more flies with honey than lemonade, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
whatever the phrase is. You
You
know what
want
I'm
to
trying to
just
say,
ask
though.
polite. I see what you're getting at. Am I teasing, Dan? Am I? No, I totally get you. That's that's where that's what my approach has been. I don't know if you'd ever seen this old video from like 2009 or 2010. The first time I ever got to speak to Dwight Stahl from Hasbro.
Hang on, was this the Harley Quinn figure you pulled out?
No, this is way
Okay.
before. Yeah, this is like several years before that. Like the very first time I met Dwight, I was like, "Hey, man! Ever since you've taken this on, it's been a huge disappointment. Really letting us down right here with this line. I mean, it's just gotten really bad." I just laid into him like just right off the bat, and like I look back on it and I was like, "Man, I was so pissed off. I was just so angry that like now I would come at it at a in a different way after having some, I guess some life experience and stuff like that. I would want to come at it, in a lot more civil kind of way. But at the same time, I mean, I didn't yell at him. I just like told him like, yeah, you're letting us, this is a disappointment. But yeah, I would still voice my opinion, but I always try to like do it in a respectful way. And I think about that. I feel like I was actually still respectful back then. I don't think it was too bad. And I think back on it, I'm like, I didn't call him any names and I didn't get loud or boisterous. Now I think back on it, I was actually still pretty respectful,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It's okay to say that stuff. If you're disappointed, let them know you're disappointed.
Honesty, this is what I mean. Honesty's people shouldn't be offended by honesty. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you were genuinely being honest and someone's choosing to be offended, then that's on them. Like, you're not trying to offend, you're just trying to be honest. Like, if I didn't like your outfit and I was like, ShartimusPrime, look, I don't like that black hoodie you're wearing. This is just not a good look on you. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just giving you my opinion, and you can choose to do with that what you will. By the way, you have great taste. I'm also got the same black hoodie.
Yeah, we both got nice looking black hoodies, man.
We planned that. We planned that.
Good Christmas gift. But yeah, I think as long as because I was just like make myself flash back to that, and I think I didn't say anything too out of hand. But yeah, it's fair enough to let them know how you feel about it, especially as customers. I think it's fair enough to do so in a respectful way, and it's not that hard, but it's just that the way things are nowadays with so much. I mean, you got to understand, man, this whole pandemic thing, like just in general, like people don't like happy people right now. It's like, it's just not, I can understand like somebody watching a video of me doing a biggity big bad toy store unboxing video and I unload all these freaking toys. And then there's somebody out there that like just got fired that day or wanted to pre-order something, but they couldn't because there wasn't enough money in the bank for it and they didn't want to. Like there's somebody else watching that, looking at me going, that asshole. And it's understandable because this is, I don't like it. I prefer not to have people feel that way. And
you're not trying to though.
I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to have fun. That's like really the biggest thing is I want to have fun and I want to inform people. But right now we're in some dark stuff happening around the world. And I feel like it's a lot of people are feeling a lot of negativity just based on the nature of the situation.
You obviously you're like the godfather of the toy sort of channels, right? So you obviously get it much more than anybody else. But people, like you said earlier, like people expect you to be their voice, but that was never anything you chose to do. Like you got on YouTube to talk about some toys because you wanted to share your collecting and share your passion, and then that slowly built. And now all of a sudden there's all this pressure on you to know you now have to be the voice of the community. Like, did you ever accept that job? Do you know what I mean? Like, did you go hang on? Yep, no, I'll be the voice for the community. That's me. I'll do that job. You never accepted that role. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just sort of been pushed on you. And I do think,
and I kind of just accepted it. I kind of just accepted.
I mean, it's unfair. It's unfair. Like, it's very unfair that people expect that. Like, I get it as well, but I'm on such a small scale. I'm like, hang on, like, I understand that you want me to say what you think, but that's not what I think. So, like, I'm not a conduit. You know, like this is I built my channel to share my passions and share my thoughts. YouTube's free. If you want to do the same, go for it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like some hand from God came down and went, "You will speak on YouTube and you will speak on YouTube." No, it's like we put in the work, put in the time, and here we are. Any single body person willing that can do it as well. Do you know what I mean? YouTube's free. Most people have a camera on their phones now. Start a channel, share your voice, share your opinion. It's absolutely fine. Stop trying to get everyone else to say what you think. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, too much pressure on yourself is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I do that to myself. I do see myself as a conduit because I'm in a position to be able to do so, and I see
but no
that
one
as
put you there. This is what I'm saying. No one put you there. Everything you built yourself, right? So like, you shouldn't feel that pressure.
I don't really see it that way so much. It'd be nice if I could feel that confident in that, and I think that's very kind of you to say. But I
just think you're humble. I just think you're humble, and obviously you respect the people supporting what you do. But I'll say it for you because I'm a content creator as well. Like I see the hard work that goes. People just don't see the hard work that goes into it. People assume you get every single figure behind you got free. Like your videos take you 5 minutes. Like that's what people assume. Like genuinely, that's what people assume. I guarantee you start a YouTube channel and try it. Like it's not how it works. So I think I have that respect as a content creator for what you do, and I just think it's unfair when we start feeling bad or people make us feel bad for not saying what they want us to say. You know what I mean?
That's
like, why should we feel like that?
That messes me up, man. No, for real. I appreciate that a lot because that really messes me up because it's got to a point where I'm more scared about the backlash of me just sharing my honest opinion about things now more than ever. And it's terrifying to like, especially if I mean, man, out of all the hate that I've ever gotten on YouTube, you know where I got the most hate from?
What?
Dude, for everything, not Patreon, not freaking Todd McFarlane interview, not hanging out with Talker Art. No, the fact that I prefer the Joss Whedon Justice League movie over the Snyder Cut. That's the biggest hate I've gotten over anything.
And that's just so irrelevant. And that's so irrelevant in life.
About a movie.
And it's so irrelevant to life. It shouldn't even matter. Do you know what I mean?
What the hell? Unsubscribe. F you. Like, oh my God. And it, to this day, it blows my mind. It just blows my mind. And so, but yeah, you're right. It's like I agree with you, but I also do feel the responsibility to try to do my best to rope in as many of the most popular opinions as I can recognize and try to like serve that on a plate to Hasbro. Like that's especially with and other companies too, not just Hasbro. I voice my opinions with other companies that I talk about. And to Laser Pants, well, you deserve that one, sure. That one still kills me. It's like the other stuff I get mad about myself for, like any video where I sound sorry for myself, I hate myself so much for ever posting that. But the Justice League thing, I never feel sorry for. Like it's because it's just my honest opinion.
Exactly. So you shouldn't feel bad.
Bizarre. Wait, you like the JLA theatrical release?
The viewers just dropped after you said that. You shouldn't have said that again.
I know.
People were starting to forget.
I know. Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah, it's crazy, man. And for real, like another reason why it, having the platform, I also feel like a responsibility of trying to shoot for the middle as much as possible. Like I really try to shoot if I'm really I'll voice my frustration with things or what I'm excited about, but I still try to be as fair as I can and try to shoot from the middle and have as little bias as possible.
You've got to play the game because if you're not going back to what we said earlier about voicing your concerns but in a respectful way, because that moment you start being disrespectful, that door gets shut. And then you won't be heard. Do you know? You do have, it's a balance that some people just don't get. And that's why, some people just will not get it and never understand it because they're not in that situation. So, yeah, don't make yourself feel bad due to a few, because again, it's the voices of the frustrated and angry voices are usually the loudest. It doesn't necessarily mean they're right. Not saying they're wrong either, but I'm just saying just because you're loudest in the room doesn't mean you're right.
I think it was like 44% negative or something like that on that Justice League video. It was like the one where I said, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just like can't believe it. It got so many people so upset. Got over just a silly little opinion. But that's where we're that's where we're at right now. Sorry. But I don't want to I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got to, it's pretty late over there. I wanted to give the last few minutes to some things that you have coming to the channel or anything that you want to announce. I know you got some new product that you have with Galactus holding over there, right? Is that something that you're selling, or is that just something
No,
for yourself?
Shout out D Blake Makes on Instagram. Go check out D Blake Makes. He makes 3D printed signs. So like he sent me a load over that will get spruced up the collection. So I've got like Turtles, Marvel, where have I got Gargoyles here as well. So like they just spruce up the display a little bit. He says his catchphrase is "treat your shelf," and like then he made me. So he made me a X-Men as well. So like I'll scatter these around the display, and he just made me some Dan Who logos as well. So I've got Galactus holding one there in the background. But yeah, shout out D Blake Makes. He sells all the 3D printed logos, and they really do, like, they look great online, but when you get them in hand, you're like, oh wow, okay, now I get the hype. So yeah, they're really good. So D Blake Makes.
Excellent, cool. Yeah. So so you're gonna be reviewing the Valeria in Franklin next week. Is that when your review comes up?
Yeah, just waiting for Hasbro to send it me. Like I've just got
buttholes in the UK, getting them all first.
Just got to confirm my address with Hasbro. They'll send it straight to me for review. That's how it works.
Send it straight to you.
No, earlier on, Rich.
How much do they pay you? Like, because I want to know how compared to how much I get. I want to know
the big bucks. I've got my toilet solid gold. Do you know big bucks?
Oh, damn, I didn't get that. Check.
Earlier on the stream, the super producer Rich, he's actually got the X-Men 3-pack with Forge, Jubilee, and Storm. It's out in Canada right now, like a small sort of shipment got to Canada. So he made an order, and it actually arrived today. So he's got that. There's pictures on his Instagram displayed once. He's going to send me that over to review. So hopefully I'll have that to review early next week. But yeah, as you said, it's just been a slow. This time last year in January, we had the first Spider-Man retro wave. We had like the Captain America and the retro card, the tribute one. We had Doctor Strange, but like this year, it's January, 20th of January now, nothing so far. So I do think the tables have turned. I think this year is not the UK's year. This year's Canada's year, or Austria or Germany's year. Like, look out for that next German YouTuber. He's on the come up this year, because I think my day's come and gone. But yeah, as I said, I'll be reviewing Legends, but I've definitely been more picky this year, because we have to be, like, because I love other lines as well. Like, I love Legends, that's my go-to, but I love the NECA Turtle stuff. I like in the G.I. Joe stuff, some of that Power Ranger Lightning Collection stuff I really like as well. So I've been dabbling. So yeah, Legends is, if I get the opportunity to, I'll always pick them up. But again, like, I don't pick things up just to review. People like, I review it because I wanted it for my collection. So I'm adding it to my collection and then reviewing it. But I never buy anything just to review it, because I ain't got the money for that. So like, yeah, I'll be picking and choosing this year, shall we say. But I ain't going anywhere. I am actually excited. Going back round to the conversation we said at the start, I am excited for I think 2023 for Marvel Legends, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, will be better than 2022 for Marvel Legends. And from all the stuff that's been revealed so far, we only know like 30% of the year. So there's still 70% of the year's Legends, with all the movies and
Bendy Wire, Doc Ock.
Exactly. As Far From Home.
Prime, yeah.
The
Avengers. Yeah.
The Avengers anniversary. Like, there's still so much good stuff to come that we don't even know exists yet. So I am genuinely excited for the year for Legends. So yeah, started off slow, but I'm hoping that's the only ways up from now.
Me too. And hopefully we get some Quantum Mania figures.
Yeah, great. That's the only movie that's been pushed up. That's why I don't think we've got figures so far. Every other movie in the MCU gets pushed back, but Quantum Mania got pushed up. So I think that's why we haven't got figures yet.
And are they gonna wait till they get to see the movie and then make them? That would be nice, wouldn't it? So we don't have any
More
dumb
accurate.
crap that's not gonna be in the movie. You know what I mean?
Maybe. It was originally meant to come out in June or July, right? And it got pushed up to Feb. So
I didn't
probably
even
not.
realize.
Probably still concept art. But
Dude, this parenthood thing is like kept me in the dark as far as like all the going to the movies and stuff like that. I haven't been to the movies in months. Used to be like almost every weekend, but now it's like it's just. Wait, you plan on having kids ever or no?
I've said to the missus, I'm not getting any younger, so I said I'd like to, but she just we've got nieces and nephews. And I think she's more interested in just being the rich auntie, like come round, have fun, and then drop the kids back off type thing. So
all right,
we shall see what the future holds.
That's what she wants to do. If that's what you guys want to do, go for it, because it's hell of a ride, bro. It's a thing. It's pretty wild. It's a game changer.
Yeah,
hard
of course.
Mode. That's what my brother said. He has 3 kids. He's like, basically having kids is living life on hard mode.
I struggle to do videos now, like, and you've got 2 kids and still do videos. So as I said, respect, because so if I did ever have a kid, then YouTube would have to I'll disappear. That's if I disappear, you know why.
Oh man. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen that way, and if it does, you know what I mean. There's always ways to find time. There's always ways to find time, and speaking of time, I feel bad. Like, I don't want to keep you on the stream too long or anything.
It's all good. It's all good. No stress. No
I know it's really late over there, but if you guys haven't followed Dan Who already, check him out. His link is in the description below, so you should find it right over there. And thanks again, Ray. Got your Dan Who plaque. Let's see if I can maximize that really quick. Oop, nope, wrong guy. Oop. What? How am I so bad at? Oh, wait.
I'm back.
I'm horrible at this. Oh,
so I've got Streamlabs up, so I'll show you my logo. There you go. DanWhoReviews. Just subscribe on YouTube.
How do you know how all this live stream?
Just subscribe. DanWhoReviews on YouTube. I'm there regularly talking Marvel Legends. Hello. There you go. So there you go. I'll teach you. Streamlabs.
Oh, you have Streamlabs.
Yeah, Streamlabs.
So Streamlabs, I should probably
Streamlabs. You get full control. So like a lot of people use Streamlabs, which is absolutely fine, fair game. But I think you get more creativity with Streamlabs, and you can put your own branding on it.
That's how you get all those things flying around all over the place.
Yep.
You guys got to check out his live streams. They're very fun. They're very fun live streams. And rest in peace, Brandon. I hope he's doing well and everything. But
literally, you see me bouncing around now. Like, there you go. There's my live stream set up. So, like, there you go. This is what it looks like on live stream. Come and watch. Yeah. Thank you to all the people supporting. Much appreciated.
All right.
There you go. I'll teach you. Hit me up. Hit the DMs up. I'll help you out.
All right. Sick. All right. Yeah. I gotta take advantage of that. I'd like to have a little bit more bells and whistles on my live streams. I think it looks cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, seeing 2 of my favorite YouTubers and people in general get together like this made for a nice evening. I'm glad you guys did this. Yeah, thank you, Thirsty. And I'm grateful for Dan making it, man.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you. It's as I said, I've been watching you for God knows how long. You and Glenn Webb, like, I thought you 2 were the only 2 toy guys in the community. Do you know, because that was all I ever watched was you and Glenn. And then obviously I got involved and I seen the bigger world, and I do love this community. As I said, back to what I said at the start, it makes it more fun for me. Like, if this was just, I'd still be collecting if it was just me in my room. Like, but it is more fun when you can share it with people. So thank you very much for the invite. As I said, I'm a fan of this channel for sure.
Oh, thank you. Likewise, man. Thank you so much. Dan, you have a good evening. You get some rest and everything. Thank you again for making it out here. And thank you for all you guys for coming through to this live stream. I had a really good time. And stay tuned for more with other guests in the future. I don't know what I'm doing next week for sure, but definitely more live streams to come. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Catch you guys later.
Peace. Bye-bye.